Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mrs. Gallagher, and today we're going to discuss equations that have special solutions or special answers. So we're going to discuss identities and equations with no solution. So some equations have no solution as the answer. The solution set is the null or the empty set. So the solution set is called the null or the empty set, and it is shown by the symbol. And it looks like a zero with a slash mark through it. That is the symbol. Okay, so how do we solve these types of equations? We're going to follow the same series of steps to solve equations as you would with the equations on variables on each side. So we're going to follow the same series of steps to solve the equations as we will with equations with variables on each side. So let's do some examples together. So let's first read our directions. It says, solve each equation. And number 1 says 12 minus h equals negative h plus 3. And your first step is to undo your smaller variable. So we're going to undo the variable. It's the same variable. And they're both a negative h. So we're going to undo it by adding h to both sides. So now we're going to bring down our 12. Negative h plus h cancels out. Bring down your equal sign. And now you have, again, negative h plus h. That also cancels out. And you have a positive 3. So we're going to bring down our 3. So now it says 12 equals 3, which looks kind of strange. And you want to think to yourself, does 12 equal 3? So does 12 ever equal 3? No, it doesn't. No. So when each side of the equation does not balance out and is not equal to each other, your answer would be h equals no solution. That means no matter what number you have, it'll never work. You can't do it. So as a result, h equals no solution. It's null. It's an empty set. Let's look at another example, number 2. 3x plus 5 equals 3x plus 4. Your first step is to undo the smaller variable. Well, they're both 3x's, so we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. So your first 3x cancels. You're going to bring down your 5. Bring down your equal sign. The second 3 cancels. And you're going to bring down your 4. So now you have 5 equals 4. Does 5 ever equal 4? Does 5 ever equal 4? No, it doesn't. Therefore, no matter what variable, no matter what the number is for the variable, you will never find the answer to x. Therefore, x equals no solution. It's an empty set. Can't find it. Okay, so there's something we notice here when we're dealing with these types of problems. Let's look at the problems above. We have a negative h and negative h in the first problem, and then we have 3x and 3x. So what do you notice here? Well, I notice the variables are equal on each side of the equation. So the first thing I notice is the variables are equal or the same on each side of the equation. That's one thing I noticed about these types of problems. All right, now let's look at the constants. We have 12 and 3 in number 1, and we have 5 and 4 in number 2. So we notice our constants, our numbers are different. Okay, so our constants, our numbers are different on each side of the equation. So these are our two characteristics when dealing with a null set. So your variables are equal on each side of the equation, but your constants, your numbers, are different on each side of the equation. And when this happens, your answer is always equal to no solution. So your answer is always equal to no solution, which you can also write as the symbol with a 0 with a slash in it. The next type of special answer we're going to discuss with equations are called identity. So other equations may have all real numbers as a solution. So some equations may have all real numbers as a solution. This is known as identity. So this is known as an identity. Okay, so directions. It says solve each equation. Number 3, it says negative 2 times x minus 1 equals 2 minus 2x. So our first step is to distribute negative 2 to the x and negative 2 to the negative 1. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. And that equals 2 minus 2x. Our next step is to undo the smaller variable. So we have a negative 2x here and a negative 2x here. And we want to undo that by adding 2x to each side. Notice they're the same variables. So actually they're both going to cancel out. So now we're going to bring down both 2's. So we have 2 equals 2. Well, does 2 equal 2? Yes, it does. 2 equals 2. So whenever you have the same number equaling each other, your answer is x equals all real numbers. So your answer is x equals all real numbers. That means whatever number you put in, any positive, any negative, any fraction, any decimal, your left side of the equation will always equal your right side of the equation. Another way you may see it also as an answer, or you can say x equals infinitely many solutions. So x equals infinitely many solutions. It means the same thing, infinite. Whatever you put in, any number, it'll always equal each other. Everything works. So let's do another example, example 4. We have 2 times 2x minus 1 plus 6 equals 4x plus 4. Your first step is to distribute 2 to the 2x and 2 to the negative 1. So 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus 6 equals 4x. Your next step, you want to combine your like terms before we start undoing the variables. So you combine negative 2 plus 6. Negative 2 plus 6 gives us positive 4. So you have 4x plus 4 equals 4x plus 4. Your next step is to undo your variables, your smaller variable. Notice we have the same variable. So subtracting 4x from each side. And both cancel because it gives you 0. And now you're going to bring down. So now 4 equals 4. So does 4 always equal 4? Does 4 always equal 4? Yes, it does. So your answer is either x equals all real numbers or x equals infinitely many solutions. So x equals all real numbers or x equals infinitely many solutions. Either answer works. I wanted to give you 2 options and let you know it means the same thing. So again, x equals all real numbers or x equals infinitely many solutions. And that's your answer when all numbers work. So with identity problems, we have certain characteristics. So now what do we notice? Let's discuss what we notice about these types of problems. And we're going to look at these problems after we use a distributed property and after we combine like terms. Let's look at number 3. Let's look at our variables. What do you notice about your variables here? We had negative 2x and negative 2x. And then we have 4x and 4x. So what do we notice? We notice the variables are equal, the same, on each side of the equation. So our first characteristic we notice is the variables are equal, which means they're the same on each side of the equation. Now let's check out our constants in problems 3 and 4. Well, we have 2 and 2 in example 3, and then we have a positive 4 and a positive 4. So what do you notice about our constants, our numbers? Well, they're also equal. the constants are also equal on each side of the equation. So our second characteristic is our constants, also known as our numbers, are also equal on each side of the equation. And whenever you have the variables are equal and our constants are equal on each side of the equation, your answer is always going to be all real numbers or infinitely many solution. So whenever we have these two characteristics, your answer will be all real numbers or infinitely many solutions. So now let's try the you try section. Please complete questions 1 and 2 of the you try section, and we will discuss it in class. Thank you.